Today on Investigate TV Plus, a potentially deadly high that's easily available. We explore how one state's crackdown is inspiring change across the country.
If it had been illegal, do you think that you would have become addicted to it?
No, I don't.
We travel hundreds of miles charting a course for solutions.
Letting the issue be brought to the light is so important to begin with.
Plus,
start small and think yes.
A program gives incarcerated individuals hope for their future. We reveal how it's forging a path to help former inmates get back on their feet.
Then inspiration in the open air.
And so you're looking up, it's giving you a different angle and more access to places.
Meet the artist who gets up close to paint Mother Nature's portraits.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Colorful canisters with a sinister secret for sale in vape stores, gas stations, and all over the internet. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. A drug that offers a brief and potentially dangerous high might seem new, but you may already be familiar with what's inside.
It's the same gas you breathe through a mask in the dentist chair. And it's the pressurized air you release when putting whipped cream topping on a dessert.
It's called nitrous oxide, and it has legitimate legal uses in dental clinics and commercial kitchens. But it's becoming an increasingly popular product, with people using it as a recreational drug.
But parents probably have no idea what that is. If they saw it in their kid's backpack, they wouldn't know.
We found nitrous oxide is readily available for sale with little oversight across the country, marketed in colorful packaging with enticing flavors.
It's sold in smaller containers known as whipped cream chargers that give a single high, and in tanks big enough to supply dozens of hits by filling balloons or inhaling straight from the bottle.
Our team has followed this story for more than a year, speaking with current addicts and their families who say easy access to the drug led their loved one's addiction to spiral out of control.
Our coverage led lawmakers in Louisiana to crack down on the sale of nitrous oxide.
Reporter Rob Krieger joins us now from New Orleans to explain how other states are following suit.
Lee and Tisha, in May 2024, Louisiana became the first state in the country to regulate nitrous oxide. The law prohibits the sale of the gas in stores and increases the penalties and fines for violators. The first of its kind legislation is now serving as a rubric for other lawmakers in the U.S.
This bill was brought to me by a parent in my district. He was telling me about an addiction that her child had that was related to a product called Galaxy Gas.
This bill came about after the untimely death of Maddox Bayous, who was killed while being transported by his adult employer, who abused nitrous oxide, lost consciousness, and wrecked the vehicle.
We're in the gas station down the street from our house down in South Austin in the suburbs had mango flavor, cotton candy flavored, and my 11-year-old could have walked in and purchased it.
Several states followed Louisiana's lead, proposing and passing new regulations on the sale of nitrous oxide. It's a relief for families who are impacted by nitrous abuse, an issue that's shattered lives and communities across the country.
If it had been illegal, do you think that you would have become addicted to it?
No, I don't.
Holly Hill is a recovering nitrous oxide addict.
Or I was like a zombie. I mean, like I could hardly walk.
For years, Hill says her life was consumed by addiction. Often confined to her car, inhaling the gas, a boxful at a time.
Then I would have cartridges on the passenger seat next to me, boxes and boxes and boxes of them, and I would just, take one, screw it in, do it, and then another one.
In just 6 months, Hill says she went through more than 22,000 cartridges of nitrous oxide, spending more than $10 grand on the fleeting high.
I had spent so much money that it was like the bottom of the barrel. Like chemically, I had no dopamine, no serotonin, and I had no money.
Hill says she'd inhale the cartridges daily while driving, often between just a handful of shops, starting in Laconia, New Hampshire, a small community wedged between the bucolic shoreside of Lake Winnisquam and the rolling foothills of the Belknap Mountains, before driving about 30 miles to Concord, the state's capital. Breathtaking views, clouded by nitrous oxide.
I would do the whole box on the way to Concord, and so then I would get to Concord, and then I'd buy another 100 or 200, and then I'd just go back to Laconia, and then I'd buy a few more boxes, and then I'd go back to Concord, and they never, ever said no.
That was more than 3 years ago, so we went back to see if the shops were still saying yes in New Hampshire.
It's not. This Smoker's Haven, the one right down the road by the Laconia High School, most certainly does. Yeah.
So you say the one by the high school would have?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. They have boxes and boxes of it. I just got transferred from down there.
Oh, okay.
A day or two ago.
I'm looking to see if you have, do you have any nitrous? I'll take the 24.
You're all set.
Can I get a receipt, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
And he was right. Just around the corner from Laconia High School, the Smoker's Haven here had boxes of nitrous oxide on sale. It's easy access to this deadly gas that Hill says kept her trapped in a cycle of addiction.
I think it's insane. I think it's really, I thought it was insane when I was buying it myself. I'm like, I can't believe they're letting me do this. Repeatedly, day after day, the same place, like the same people.
It's been 3 years since Hill says she last abused nitrous. After multiple stints in rehab and thanks to unwavering dedication from her family, she feels confident she can find joy in life beyond the gas, though she still feels both physical and mental effects from her once crippling addiction.
Yeah, we have it.
She's worried the growing availability of nitrous in states like hers without regulations paves a path to easy addiction.
I mean, walking into a smoke shop anywhere around here, it's like a pyramid of boxes, and you can tell that it's constantly turning over. They're constantly selling them. Ease of access it's one of the worst problems.
We are now seeing disturbing shift. More and more young people are misusing nitrous oxide as a drug. They're inhaling it directly from canisters to get high, often in large quantities and with serious and sometimes fatal consequences.
That's exactly why Hill pushes for change, to pull the stigma of nitrous oxide addiction out of the shadows.
Just letting the issue be brought to the light is so important to begin with. So if you can't just walk in somewhere and buy 300 plus or a tank, I think that would be really helpful.
In June of 2025, Louisiana strengthened its laws banning online sales within the state and flavored additives for the gas. I've spoken with numerous nitrous oxide addicts across the country attempting recovery. I learned in many states, those looking to break free from their addiction find it difficult because of its easy access. They also tell us recovery groups can help. If you need information on how to get help, head to no2n2o.org.
Up next,
But sometimes it takes this to grow up in here to really find yourself and be a true man.
the path to redemption after admitting a mistake. We explore one man's mission to turn ex-inmates into entrepreneurs.
Plus, pregnant women at risk and the doctors looking to save them.
This is personal for me. So it is so important for those of us who are passionate about, this problem to also research the problem to figure out how we can absolutely do better.
We examine why women giving birth are dying and the solutions looking to reverse that trend.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
According to the Department of Justice, each week more than 10,000 prisoners are released from America's state and federal prisons.
Research from the Prison Policy Initiative published in 2018 reveals the unemployment rate for formerly incarcerated people is nearly 5 times higher than the unemployment rate for the general population.
To help former inmates find employment, one man is teaching them to be their own boss.
Reporter Dedrick Russell shows us how he's empowering ex-cons to turn a second chance into a career.
Brown Creek Correctional Facility. It's a minimum custody men's prison with about 1,000 men serving time. Some are about to get out in the next 2 years. Others are still hoping for another chance in society. While waiting and hoping, many of these inmates have dreams of opening their own business.
Carlos Incorporated.
I'll tell you about Carlos Thomas's business idea in a moment. But first, Carlos and others showed up at this boot camp style presentation from Brian Hamilton. He's the founder of Inmates to Entrepreneurs.
Our program now is nationwide.
For more than 30 years, this founder has been going from prison to prison, telling inmates rather than apply for a job and possibly get rejected, why not create their own job?
There's got to be a point at which you get to start from zero.
On this day, inmates got handouts explaining the basics of marketing, crafting your elevator pitch, and developing a one-page business plan. There is also an 8-week program that is given. Hamilton's first point?
Start small and think yes.
Inmates learned it's best to take baby steps when building a business.
People complicate it all the time. I mean, amazingly complicated. And again, it doesn't matter where I am. People just make things so hard. The whole point is start small, right? Just start with the first customer, the lowest amount of capital you need. But all the meanwhile, while you're doing that, Dedrick, you're thinking, what am I going to be? But start here and think there.
He also told them to find something they love to do and others hate to do. After some Q&A, these inmates left with their assignment.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it. God bless, okay?
Now back to Carlos Thomas.
Say I come up in 2026.
He's been in jail since 1986. He's 65 and still has a dream of establishing Carlos Incorporated, a cleaning service.
A lot of cleaning. Things that probably society doesn't like to do that I took up since I've been in here. And I'm an excellent cleaner.
He is serving time for rape.
I know I was doing bad things out there in society back in the days when I was in my 20s. But sometimes it takes this to grow up in here to really find yourself and be a true man.
Hamilton says with that type of conviction and can-do attitude, his job is easy.
By the time people get to us, they want change in their life. The biggest thing, the biggest obstacle we have is what's up here.
You know, I've learned my lesson. And it took this to make me a better man.
And one day, maybe society will be reintroduced to a better Carlos and even a better entrepreneur.
According to Inmates to Entrepreneurs, for every 10 inmates who take the online course, 7 complete it, and about half of them start a business. What a great program, because, as they all go back in the world, everyone has, a gift, something to give, and it can kind of help them find their place.
Yeah, and being able to share that gift and have a job reduces the chances of them going back to jail.
Very good point.
Yeah. Still ahead, paddle and paint among plants and wildlife.
The pelicans, the oak trees, water on the bayou just surrounds me and it becomes a part of you.
We show you the serene scenes from one artist's personal perspective.
But first, reversing the course of maternal mortality for future moms in America.
Is it safe to give birth in Tennessee? Absolutely not.
We examine an alarming trend when it comes to Black women and chart the path of one mother changing history.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime streaming online. Get the app for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. It's free to download. When it comes to measuring the health and development of a country, one key indicator is its maternal mortality rate.
The CDC defines a maternal death as the death of a woman while pregnant or within 42 days of the end of her pregnancy.
The CDC released data that shows in 2023, the maternal mortality rate decreased to 18.6 deaths per 100,000 live births, compared with a rate of 22.3 in 2022.
While this does mark an improvement, a particular group of Americans saw an increase in maternal mortality.
Pregnant Black women who are dying at a rate more than 3 times that of white women.
The United States has the highest maternal mortality rate of any industrialized country in the world.
Why is that?
Many of the maternal deaths, especially in Black women, are because of the biases that still exist in our system. Frankly, are less likely to be listened to when they present with complaints.
Dr. Graves is one of many who are working to make it safer for women in the U.S. to give birth.
One woman who she helped to save is now doing the same through changing the law in her state.
Reporter Lauren Lowry shows us how.
From her state office downtown, Memphis Senator London Lamar gets to work. Taking office in 2019 at age 28, she's the youngest woman and the youngest African American to ever serve in the state legislature.
My ancestors and the people came before me, the black women, the black men, built this state. I am Tennessee's history, whether it's acknowledged or not.
In 2019, the senator made more history.
And come up with real solutions.
Shown here debating while pregnant, but on one particular day.
October 17, 2019.
Everything changed. At 8 months pregnant, London Lamar nearly lost her life. Her little boy did not make it.
Is it safe to give birth in Tennessee?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a dangerous state to have a child. Black women are dying more than anybody else. I noticed that for myself, my freshman year in the legislature, losing my son at 8 months pregnant because of preeclampsia.
Preeclampsia is the #1 killer of pregnant women and the #1 cause of stillbirth in babies. Thanks to research that's emerged in the last 15 years, preeclampsia is now recognized as a heart disease.
Most women who die in pregnancy don't die during labor and delivery. They actually die after labor and delivery, often presenting back to the emergency room, often ignored when they present back to the emergency room, sometimes even sent home after they present to the emergency room.
During our interview,
Hey, it's Dr. Graves.
Dr. Graves got an emergency call for a new mom.
She probably has postpartum preeclampsia.
Dr. Graves is the reason Nashville was the first city in the country to get access to a preeclampsia test, detecting the disease with nearly 100% accuracy. We interviewed the Nashville woman who was the first in the country to receive the test. She and her baby saved because of the test and care from Dr. Graves. Right now, Graves is running 3 different research projects on this issue, including one for the NIH and for the American Heart Association.
So when this is personal for me, so it is so important for those of us who are passionate about, this problem to also research the problem to figure out how we can absolutely do better.
At the Capitol, Senator Lamar is addressing it through new laws. And in 2023, she made history again, becoming the first sitting senator to give birth while serving and introducing baby Nylan to the legislature.
I knew that God sent that baby here for me to try again. Everything I could do to make sure that this child made it to the end, and I made it too, and we did. My son gave me purpose. When I say I wake up every day and I look at his face and it reminds me of what I'm fighting for.
Say hello. He's not ready to speak yet.
That's really what pro-life is all about, is to ensure that women and babies can make it through the totality of the birthing process and have a good life.
In response to the CDC report on Black maternal deaths, the Policy Center for Maternal Mental Health released policy recommendations to improve patient care.
Those recommendations include increasing the number of Black obstetric professionals by creating programs to attract diversity and testing for proficiency in recognizing bias.
Still ahead, meet one artist who prefers to capture nature's beauty in person.
The camera doesn't have the emotion. The camera does not see what you see.
We paddle along to share her award-winning art. For one Louisiana artist, paddling a kayak has become a favorite way to get up close and paint landscapes near her home.
Reporter Dave McNamara followed along as she loaded her oil paints, canvas, and brushes to create a late afternoon painting session on the water.
Artist Carol Halleck has found a way to combine her love of painting with her enjoyment of paddling a kayak near her home on Bayou Lacombe.
I always liked anything Louisiana, the pelicans, the oak trees. Water on the bayou just surrounds me and it becomes a part of you.
I tagged along in my own kayak as Halleck scanned the springtime bayou landscape, looking at shapes, the light, anything that would inspire her to put paint and brush to canvas.
In springtime, it's bright greens, and they only last about a week.
In her small kayak, Halleck is seeing her world from water level.
And so you're looking up, it's giving you a different angle and more access to places.
You've probably seen these landscapes along the bayou hundreds of times. Where do you find inspiration to paint something new?
In a way, the composition may be very similar, but your colors change, your light changes, the time of year changes, and so it's always new. The challenge is to, if you're painting that same thing over and over, make it better. Dead trees are interesting. They talk somehow.
It might seem like it would be easier to snap a picture and take it home to paint the scene. Halleck prefers the plein air style, trying to do a painting from start to finish while sitting on location in her kayak.
The camera doesn't have the emotion. The camera does not see what you see. It does not see the emotion, the light, and doesn't feel what you feel. When you're painting from a photo, you're trying to do a 3D rendering from this 2D photo. And if you're out in nature, you're trying to do a 3D, but then there's 3Ds in front of you.
Carol Halleck's award-winning oil paintings capture familiar scenes: trees along a bayou, the changing of seasons, the imperfections and beauty of Louisiana landscapes, and a white egret that she always names Geraldine.
I've always kind of been closed off from emotion, not really knowing how I felt. And I think painting has helped me acknowledge what's inside of me.
If every stroke of the brush hits its mark, Halleck says she can complete a painting in less than an hour. And there's always tomorrow, with different light, or perhaps a few more clouds, another chance to capture the beauty and emotion of a kayak trip on the bayou.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, experts say a life-threatening disease typically found in older adults is targeting a younger generation.
Being a younger person, it was very disorienting. It didn't fit with my ideas of myself or my life.
We examine a rise in cancer among younger people as researchers race to find new treatments and a cure.